Could this be the ultimate record all day, never miss a shot POV video setup? Well, let's find out. If you think about the ideal POV setup, what you need is a setup which is small, lightweight and unobtrusive. You want battery power enough to last all day if necessary, and you want the control and intelligent features to ensure that you never miss your shot without necessarily having to record hours of footage. And that is what this new setup from Insta360 promises. So altogether we have 4 items here. We have the GO Ultra, which we'll get back to in a moment. We have the new FOMO Flexi mount, which provides flexible mounting of your GO Ultra but also allows you to power it at the same time. And although you can power it from any source, today we're pairing it up with this FOMO Wearable Powerbank. And as far as control is concerned, today we're going to be using the new Ring remote. Now the GO Ultra itself also has a few new features thanks to a recent firmware update, which helps you get the best out of this new FOMO POV bundle. So today we're going to be checking out this new FOMO POV solution and we're going to see how well it works. So there's a lot to cover, so as usual I'll place the chapters up here and on the video timeline, but first an important disclosure: this bundle was provided to me at no cost from Insta360, but only under the condition that any video I produce would be my own work without any influence or input from Insta360. And of course, if you enjoy today's video, get good information out of it, please remember to hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel for a lot more similar content. So let's get on with it. As far as accessories are concerned, at the heart of the FOMO bundle is the so-called FOMO Flexi mount, which, as you can see, has these contacts for connection to your GO Ultra. And on the side you'll find a USB-C port for connection to a power source. And if we go ahead and plug it in and bring in our GO Ultra, you can see that it immediately begins charging. There is actually even more functionality available here, and we'll talk about that later on. The FOMO Flexi mount has a fold-out base which allows you to mount the camera in a variety of different positions. And being made out of metal, it can also attach magnetically, for example, to one of the magnetic pendants, which holds it securely in place. Now, when the camera records for long periods of time, it can get pretty warm. So the FOMO Flexi mount has air vents all around in order to ensure the maximum airflow across the camera and reduce the risk of overheating. And that, of course, is something we'll test for later on. As I mentioned, you can use any power source or power bank together with the FOMO Flexi mount, but today we're going to be using this one, a new around-the-neck wearable power bank from Insta360. It can be purchased as part of 2 different kits: the FOMO Power Neck Mount for larger cameras, and the FOMO Power Kit specifically for the GO Ultra, which comes together with the FOMO Flexi mount. The power bank has USB ports on each end, both of which allow power in and power out. There is a single button for powering on the power bank and checking the charge status. Battery capacity is 4800 milliamp hours, which according to Insta360 is enough to get you up to 8 hours of recording time at 4K 30 frames per second. So I'm going to connect the short cable, which should be the perfect setup. For control of my POV setup, I'm going to be using the new Ring remote. Now the Ring remote is an even smaller version of the recent Mini remote, having just a single button and status light. On the side you'll find 2 pins for charging in the included charging clip. And according to Insta360, a full charge will give you about 5 hours of operation. As the name suggests, the Ring remote is intended to be worn like a ring, and it comes with 2 different elastic straps in order to ensure a good fit. Pairing the Ring remote with your GO Ultra is pretty straightforward. Simply hold down the button on the remote to power it on, As long as it is not connected with another camera, the light flashes blue. Then on the Go Ultra, we'll go into the menu and go to the Bluetooth menu. Within a couple of seconds, the camera discovers the ring remote. We simply tap on it to connect. When it comes to operation, a single press of the button will start recording or take a photo in photo mode. During a recording, a double press will mark a segment for easier location when editing. And of course, another single press of the button will stop the recording. And in case you're wondering, no, the cancel recording feature does not work by the remote. Holding down the button has no impact. When the camera is not recording, a double press will switch modes, but appears to be limited to switching only between photo mode and video mode. And as long as the camera is not recording, a long press will power off both the remote and the camera together. And similarly, when both devices are powered off, a long press will power on both devices. But note that the remote only powers on the camera, it does not power on the action pod. If you want to use the action pod, that has to be powered on separately. Okay, time to find out exactly how much recording time we can get out of the FOMO setup. I have everything fully charged. I have the camera set to record in 4K, 30 frames per second with all normal settings. I have a fresh 512 gigabyte card installed, which is enough for over 10 hours of recording, so that should be more than enough. The big question is, what will happen first? Will we run out of battery, or will we have any overheating issues due to the camera recording and being charged at the same time? Now, clearly this test could take several hours to complete, and I don't feel like standing here for the next few hours, so I decided to enlist a little help. Okay, so my colleague Frosty is going to take it from here, so all that's left to do is hit the start button and let's see what we get. All right. So, not quite the 8 hours that Insta360 claimed, but in fairness to Insta360, their tests were based on using the endurance mode, which I was not. Now, I'm not sure I would have made it to 8 hours, but to be honest, I'm already pretty impressed with 6 hours, and let's face it, if you want longer, you can switch out the power bank or you can use a bigger one to begin with. But what impressed me the most here was the fact that the camera could continuously record 4K video for several hours without any incidences of overheating. Now, recording continuously for several hours is of course one good way to ensure you never miss a shot. The downside is, of course, you end up with hours of footage that you have to go through in order to find the shots you're looking for. Well, there is a better way of doing this, and that is by leveraging the pre-recording function. And thanks to this latest firmware update, the Go Ultra also has some new capabilities which enhance the pre-recording feature and help you get the best out of your FOMO POV setup. Now, if you've never used pre-recording before, this is a great feature for ensuring that you never miss a shot without you having to record continuously. Basically, you select a time up to 30 seconds, and when pre-recording is enabled, the camera basically records continuously. So when you hit the start button, not only do you get a recording from that moment, but you also get the previous 30 seconds added to that recording. Now, having updated to this newest firmware, you'll find 2 additional options available under pre-recording. The first of these is called laughter capture. Now, I don't want to go through this in great detail today, but the basic idea is when you use laughter capture pre-recording, whenever the camera senses laughter, it automatically starts recording and of course captures not only the laughter, but whatever caused the laughter. Now, I have played around with this a little bit. I find it's a little bit hit or miss, but I have to do more testing, and I plan to post a separate video specifically on this feature. The other new pre-recording feature has to do with how the Go Ultra reacts when it is connected to the FOMO Flexi mount. As we saw earlier, the default is when you connect it up to a powered FOMO Flexi mount, it immediately begins charging. But thanks to this new feature, you can also have the camera power on and immediately begin pre-recording. So when used, for example, in combination with the remote, here too you can ensure whenever you see something happening, you simply hit the start button and it will automatically add that pre-recording time to your video. And as you saw from my endurance test, you can be confident that you have enough power to leave pre-recording turned on. Now, one important thing to mention here, if you were to power off the camera for any reason, whether you do so on the camera or using the remote, when you power the camera back on in the FOMO Flexi mount, it will not automatically begin pre-recording. But as long as you still have that feature enabled, all you have to do is briefly remove it and reseat it, and it will automatically start pre-recording again. A couple of weeks back, I took my FOMO POV kit out for a field test and we went to the Seattle Christmas market and I wore it exactly as you see it here, including also the Ring remote. Now altogether we were there for about 4 to 5 hours and frankly for the most part I even forgot that I was wearing it. Now one thing I did learn on this outing is something that I already mentioned in the video, and that is, in order to not miss anything, the best idea is to use the pre-recording feature rather than just simply record all the time. Over the course of 5 hours, I took over 90 minutes worth of footage, which of course took quite a long time to go through, but here is just a small sampling of it. So that wraps up our video on the Go Ultra FOMO POV bundle. I hope you enjoyed it and got good information out of it. If so, please hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel and be on the lookout for a lot more content on the Go Ultra and other cameras. So thanks for watching.